If you've been having a little bit of struggle with meditating recently, I'm offering this time, right here, right now, for you to join me in the present moment. See, I just want you to find a comfortable position. You can lay down, you can sit, you can stand, whatever is comfortable for you. And as you settle down, I would like to remind you that this time here is yours, meaning that this time right now is for you and you alone, and any other distractions or things you may need to do later on in the day, or anything that may take you away from your time right here and now, is not important. You can forget about that during the duration of this video. And so, as you find yourself settling into the present moment, notice your surrounding physically, whether that be through sound, through sight, even through touch and the surface beneath you. Not looking for anything in particular, just observing. Realize that there is no wrong or right way to observe. It's natural. It's a fundamental aspect of existence, observation, sensation. And as you put your attention and awareness on this fact, notice as well the internal world, emotions, feelings, thoughts, sensations. Once again, not looking for anything in particular. And if anything arises within your awareness, recognize too that as soon as it may have appeared, it may also disappear. Recognize that there is a simplicity to this state of being. It needs no explanation. It just simply is. Realize as well that any thoughts or ideas that may come up are inherently distortions of reality. That is to say, the thoughts and ideas are merely thoughts and ideas, but not the innate and inherent reality. That is to say, am I able to believe or hear a thought that my pants are blue when they may in fact be black? Surely. But this thought is not representative of truth, but rather as something different. I want you to look into this. What is the root of thought? And notice that any thinking of the root of thought, any ideas or talking that is happening, leads nowhere except for back towards thoughts and thinking. Rather, what I'm asking you to do is ponder the question without thoughts. And that is not to say that we are denying thoughts, but rather just not necessarily paying attention to them, but rather putting our consciousness towards this pointer that I have brought to you in looking for the root or the origin point of thoughts. And it may be difficult to pinpoint where exactly this comes from. Notice that. Notice that it is hard to find the origin of these thoughts, and they are less like something that is stagnant that can be found with a map, but rather more like a flowing river in which the tides are constantly changing, and as one piece of water passes, another different piece of water continues to flow into our awareness, constantly flowing. New thoughts, new water, while simultaneously being the same stream of thoughts, the same stream of water. And notice that there is no real way to fight the mind unless you are to fight the mind with the mind. That is to say, you cannot fight thinking without thinking. The only way to fight thoughts is to think more thoughts, and that is to create a loop of thoughts in which the thoughts are speaking back to themselves, holding its own conversation. How often does something like this happen in your everyday life? A cycle of thoughts speaking to themselves. You see, during this duration, we have been watching the thoughts come into our consciousness. And depending on your experience, you could have fought them, you could have not fought them, you could have tried to control what thoughts to think. And if you did try to control what thoughts to think, you would have likely found that it only brought upon more thoughts. So if we cannot control the thoughts, we cannot control the stream of water, the stream of thinking, what are we to do? Do we have no control over when the mind is silent? The answer to that question is yes and no. It is certain that at any moment a thought could arise, no matter how silent and still you are. But the difference is in your level of awareness and choice and where you place your attention. It is possible to redirect your attention from the thinking towards something else. And eventually, just like a radio changing signal, the thoughts are not on your frequency. And so, the key to an empty mind is not to fight thoughts, to vanquish them, to battle them. Because that is simply like fighting fire with fire. But rather, it is to starve the thoughts of your attention. And this is not to say that thoughts are bad or thinking is bad. But in meditation, we often find ourselves coming back to a greater state of awareness, a state of observation in which we are detached from thinking. Therefore, even if we are aware of the movement of thoughts, we are unshaken by them. Notice that you too, in your greatest and highest nature, are unshakable. That is to say, the thoughts, the emotions, all of them, we're not looking to fight them, to resist them. It's quite the contrary. When we become detached, we are no longer suffering the burden of them. We could cry and bawl out in tears, but even if we are aware of that emotion physically, we are not burdened by it. It does not move us or shake us, not internally. And that is quite an elevated state to be in, to watch the emotion, to watch life, and be unmoving by it. That is to say, to reside in a seat of consciousness and not the seat of the ego. And throughout this time, if you are new to meditation, this may feel very different. You may even feel that you are worried about if you are doing a good or bad job. Notice that there is no right or wrong way to do meditation. There is no end goal here. The goal is accomplished. Yet, it does take some time for some people to realize that. As we sit here, embrace the silence. Watch that you are aware. Notice that you are aware of your environment effortlessly. This is your true nature. So if you have ever found yourself struggling to meditate, I hope now you can realize what a distorted point of view that is. To think that there's a right and wrong way to do something that is so natural. Just let go. Let go of the mind. Let go of attachments. Let go of your efforts to let go. Realize how simple life is when we take out the mind and its distortions and its worries. This is your natural state. I hope that this finds you well and has helped you in part of your realization in meditation. If you would like to join me in a guided live meditation, feel free to click the link in the description below. And if you would like to keep meditating, you have the time here and now. Thank you.